Hey everyone, let's have a little chat today. Do you ever feel like you're just tied in knots? You've got that nagging stress, maybe it's buzzing in the background all day, and at the same time, your digestion just feels off. You know, you're bloated, uncomfortable, and it feels like your gut is as stressed out as you are. It's a frustrating cycle, and it can really make you feel like you're not in control of your own body. Well, what if I told you that you could start to untangle those knots using your fork? That the path to a calmer mind might actually start in your gut. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly 5 types of food you can add to your diet to help soothe your gut and naturally reduce your stress levels. All the information I'm sharing today is referenced from reputable sources, and I've put the links for you down in the description below. All right, and so let's get right into it. First, we gotta understand the why. Why in the world does the food in your stomach affect the stress in your head? It's all about something called the gut-brain axis. Now, that sounds like a complicated bit of jargon, but I want you to just picture a super busy two-way highway that runs directly between your gut and your brain. They are constantly sending messages back and forth. Living inside your gut is a whole community of trillions of tiny organisms, mostly bacteria, called your microbiome. Think of it like a bustling garden inside you. When this garden is healthy and full of good bacteria, they send happy, calm messages up that highway to your brain. But when it's overgrown with bad bacteria, often from a diet high in sugar and processed foods, they send stress signals. This can create inflammation, which is your body's response to damage. A little inflammation is okay, but when it's chronic, it's like a low-grade fire that can actually damage brain cells and affect your mood. So, what this means for you is simple. If we want to calm the brain, we have to start by calming the gut, and we do that with food. So let's dive into our first food group, which is probably the easiest way to start making a change. Number 1 is fermented foods. This is one of my favorite quick win tips. If you're feeling overwhelmed, just focus on this one. Fermented foods are things like yogurt, kefir, which is a drinkable yogurt, sauerkraut, or kimchi. What makes them so special? They are packed with something called probiotics. Probiotics are literally the good guys, the beneficial bacteria that we want to plant in our gut garden. When you eat these foods, you're directly adding reinforcements for your gut health. These good bacteria help strengthen your gut lining, which prevents those inflammatory stress signals from being sent up to your brain. So, what does this look like in real life? It's super simple. You could start your day with a cup of plain Greek yogurt and add some berries, which we'll talk about in a minute. Or maybe you could try having a small side of sauerkraut with your dinner. It's a tiny change that can start to shift the balance in your gut for the better. You don't have to do everything at once. Just start with this one small addition. Now, once we've added the good guys, we need to feed them. And that leads me to my next point, which is probably the most overlooked one when it comes to gut health. Number 2 is leafy greens. I'm talking about spinach, kale, arugula, things like that. Now, you've probably heard for years that you should eat your greens, but here's why it's so critical for stress. Leafy greens are loaded with fiber, but this isn't just any fiber, it's what we call a prebiotic. If probiotics are the seeds for your gut garden, prebiotics are the fertilizer. They are the food that your good bacteria love to eat. When you eat prebiotic fiber from leafy greens, you're not just feeding yourself, you're feeding that whole community of good guys in your gut, helping them grow strong and thrive. A happy, well-fed microbiome sends those calm signals to your brain. So, let's make this practical. How can you get more greens without just eating boring salads all day? It's easier than you think. You could toss a big handful of spinach into your morning eggs or smoothie. I promise, you won't even taste it. Or you could wilt some kale with a little olive oil and garlic as a quick side dish for your dinner. The goal here is just to sneak it in wherever you can. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share next can make a huge difference, especially if you feel like your mind is constantly foggy or fatigued. Our third food is fatty fish. This reminds me of a client I worked with. Let's call him David. David was in his late 60s, retired, and he felt like he was in a constant state of low-grade stress. He was irritable, had trouble focusing, and his digestion was a mess. He felt like his body and mind were working against him. One of the first things we worked on was adding fatty fish, like salmon, into his diet just 2 times a week. That's it. Within a month, he told me it felt like a fog had lifted. He had more mental clarity and just felt generally calmer and more resilient. Here's the science behind it. Fatty fish are packed with omega-3 fatty acids. These are healthy fats that are literally the building blocks of your brain cells. But more importantly for stress, they are incredibly anti-inflammatory. Remember that low-grade fire we talked about? Omega-3s act like the fire department, helping to cool down that inflammation throughout your body and your brain. So, eating salmon, mackerel, or sardines a couple of times a week is a powerful way to protect your brain and soothe stress signals. If you're not a fish fan, you can also get omega-3s from walnuts or flax seeds. Okay, so we've talked about planting the good bacteria, feeding them, and fighting inflammation. But what about the beautiful, colorful foods? Well, the fourth tip is designed specifically for that. Number 4 is berries. Think blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, all those deep, rich colors. Those colors come from powerful compounds called polyphenols. You can think of these as antioxidants, which act like bodyguards for your cells, including your brain cells. They protect your brain from the damage caused by stress and inflammation. On top of that, just like leafy greens, berries are a fantastic source of that prebiotic fiber that feeds your good gut bacteria. So with berries, you're getting a double win. You're protecting your brain directly with antioxidants, and you're supporting your gut health at the same time. And they're so easy to add in. A handful on your morning oatmeal or yogurt, blend it into a smoothie, or even just as a simple dessert after dinner. It's a delicious way to give your brain what it needs to feel its best. All right, we have one more food group to cover, and this one is all about building your brain's happy chemicals from the ground up. Our fifth and final food is lean protein, especially turkey. Have you ever heard of serotonin? It's often called the feel-good neurotransmitter. It's a chemical messenger that helps regulate your mood, making you feel calm and happy. Now, here's the amazing part. About 95% of your body's serotonin is actually produced in your gut. Your gut is literally your second brain. But to make serotonin, your body needs a specific building block, an amino acid called L-tryptophan. And where do you find that? In protein-rich foods like turkey, chicken, and eggs. So, what this means for you is that by including a good source of lean protein with your meals, you're giving your gut the raw materials it needs to produce the very neurotransmitters that help you feel calm and less stressed. It's not about eating a huge Thanksgiving dinner every day, but simply ensuring you have a source of quality protein, like a few slices of turkey in a whole wheat wrap for lunch or a grilled chicken breast for dinner. It gives your body the tools it needs to build a better mood. So let's quickly recap what we've learned today. It's all about taking care of that garden in your gut. First, we add the good bacteria directly with fermented foods like yogurt. Second, we feed those good bacteria with prebiotic fiber from leafy greens. Third, we fight inflammation and protect our brain cells with omega-3s from fatty fish. Fourth, we get a double win of antioxidants and more fiber from colorful berries. And fifth, we give our gut the building blocks for feel-good chemicals with lean proteins like turkey. See? It doesn't have to be about a perfect restrictive diet. It's just about slowly and gently adding in more of the good stuff. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Out of these 5 foods, which one feels like the easiest one for you to start with? Which one are you excited to try first? Let me know in the comments below. I love reading your ideas and stories. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and click that subscribe button. We talk all about simple, practical ways to feel better in your body, and I'd love for you to be part of our community. Thanks so much for watching. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.